Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Jason Bourne. So yeah, I know I promised to do the reviews for the three other Jason movies. I've already done Bourne Identity a while ago, like I think last year. But I know I still need to do Supremacy, Ultimatum, and Legacy. I was actually going to watch them this a week, going into Friday. However, I got advance tickets for Tuesday, so I didn't have time to actually watch them. But I will do reviews for them by the end of this week, maybe next week, depending how things go. So yeah, sorry for that in advance. Now, Jason Bourne. This movie stars Matt Damon, Alicia Vikander, Tommy Lee Jones, Julia Stiles, and Vincent Cassell, and Riz Ahmed and Edo Esando. So yeah. Before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up, so for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me, then I would give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So yeah, basically we have Jason Bourne, and he's basically, he's in, I forget where he is at the beginning, but he's basically in hiding at the beginning, we have this asset, and he's basically one of the main villains. Him and Tommy Lee Jones are the two main villains. Tommy Lee Jones portrays Robert Dewey. He's one of the CIA directors. Then you have the other main villain who's portrayed by Vincent Cassell, and they only call him as an asset, so it's like a code name type of thing. He's a spy. So you have Asset, who's trying to kill Jason Bourne because they have some history together with the Touchstone program and the Iron Hand program and a bunch of these other programs. They basically have history, and Tommy Lee Jones doesn't really like Jason Bourne as a whole. He basically thinks of Jason Bourne as kind of a loose anti-Touchstone that could, if possible, could possibly fuck over the whole government, as if he hasn't done that already. So yeah, those are trying to kill Jason Bourne. They almost do on a number of occasions. They kill off Nikki Parsons, who's Julia Stiles' character, and in this movie, and yeah, pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like the whole action scene at the beginning with the whole action scene with Nikki Parsons or Julia Stiles, where it's like a whole which is like anarchy in Greece from what it appears, where it's just anarchy in Greece. That was pretty cool. Like I always like the riot scene, like in movies or TV shows. I always like to see like destruction and chaos. I don't know why, it's just me. I'm a really violent person in the inside. But yeah, I really like that. It's pretty cool. It's archaic and whatever, anarchy. For some reason though, the only thing I could think of aside from while I was watching is like Anarchy in the UK by Sex Pistols, Anarchy. Or some every time I see Anarchy in a movie, that's somewhere my mind always goes. But yeah, but whatever. They're trying to get away. He Assets kills Nikki, so now Bourne is pissed and he's trying to trying to get back. I wouldn't say trying to get back into the CIA per se, but he's trying to get information from the government to understand how his past is, or who he was in the past, and how he kind of came into the Touchstone program. It turns out that his dad was one of the head directors of this Touchstone program, and just as kind of like the nail in the coffin, just in order to finally convince Jason Bourne, David Webb, who's technically Jason Bourne, or vice versa. In order to convince Matt Damon, to be in the Touchstone program, they kind of kill his dad, and that more or less convinces him to be in the Touchstone program, and so he's manipulated against and brainwashed, and now he's Jason Bourne, whatever. So he basically figures all that out in this movie. You have Alicia Vikander, pretty great actress in my opinion, in the last couple of years with Ex Machina, and what else was she in last year? She was in The Danish Girl and Man from U.N.C.L.E. I didn't see those two, but I saw Ex Machina. I heard she was great in that. I saw Ex Machina. She was great in that. But I heard she was pretty good at Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Danish Girl and Burnt. So yeah, I'm glad to see her back. Pretty good role. Pretty good role. I like her more than whoever they had in the previous movies. Um, I forgot who they had. For some reason, I want to say Laura Linney because it just looks like Laura Linney, but it's not Laura Linney. Here, Franca Potent. No, not Franca. No, not her. Wrong person. The person who portrayed Pamela or whatever. Whatever. You know, the blonde chick in the other Bourne movies. From the CIA. I never liked her, to be honest. I really never cared for her. So yeah, I mean, Elizabeth Vikander, she was great in her role. She was actually likable. I mean, she tried to help Bourne, which, you know, the other CIA, the blonde CIA agent from the previous films also tried to do. But here, I felt like Elizabeth Vikander actually tried to help her, like she actually cared to help her. It's not like in the previous films where the chick was kind of forced to because of the situation. Here, it kind of seemed like she wanted to. So really good on that. You know, I really like Elizabeth Vikander as an actress in the few films I've seen her in. So yeah, overall, really good movie in my opinion. The action is great. Again, it's just really, again, the typical story. Jason Bourne trying to figure out who he is, what he's done in the past, how he got here, etc., etc., etc. Here, just another great addition to the series. However, I will say this is probably if you just take out Legacy, because you know that one doesn't have Matt Damon, Jason Bourne. But if you take out Legacy, you know, so you're just down to Identity, Supremacy, Ultimatum, and Jason Bourne. I will have to say this is probably the weakest out of the four films. I mean, it is better than Legacy. I mean, many people hate on Legacy. I really don't have a problem with Legacy, to be honest. I actually find it to be a decent film, not the best, not the worst. It's like an okay film. But I will say it's better than Legacy. I mean, here I will say like one thing that's kind of on and off for me with this franchise. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Is the acting, in my opinion. Like the writing for the most part is pretty decent or pretty good, whatever. But the acting sometimes I feel like it's really over exaggerated, like really overacting. Sometimes I feel like they're just underacting. They're like, yeah, performance, yeah, read lines, okay, we're done, good. Sometimes I feel like it's just right. And during the first part of the first act, I'm like, so let's say the movie's like 2 hours. Let's say about an hour and 50 minutes because of credits. So let's say like the first 20 minutes, which is the first half, give or take, which is like part of the first half, which is part of the first act, and then like the third act. I feel like those two parts of the movie have the worst acting in it. It's not till like the middle, like after maybe half an hour to 45 minutes where the acting actually gets good. Like Matt Damon, he's always good in his role, but Alicia Vikander, I felt she was phoning it in a little bit towards the beginning and towards the end. Same thing with Tommy Lee Jones and some of the other actors. But I felt like they really need to, you know, get their pacings, what I mean. So, yeah. Also, which is something that really annoyed me, which I don't remember them doing this in some of the previous Jason Bourne films. You know, Legacy or Supremacy, Ultimatum, or Identity. I don't remember them doing that in any of the previous films. That's the fact that they had these extreme close-ups, which really annoyed me. So it's like these extreme close-ups like this on the eyes. Like yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, it's a really good movie and stuff. You know, that got really annoying in my opinion. It's like, and it's not even like that. Sometimes the scene would just start off like that, you know, like that. But sometimes the scene would continue on. You know, just continue, and then all of a sudden the camera just starts zooming and stuff, and then you just have these extreme close-ups, and then that really got annoying, and it really didn't help that I was sitting in the front row. I mean, granted, maybe I should have come earlier, and I tried to come earlier, but there's a long line too, so you know, it's that's just what happened. So I mean, granted, the seat's not really their fault. That's kind of a me thing, but whatever. But I'm just saying that the seating didn't really help. But yeah, I mean that got really obnoxious and annoying because it was really noticeable. So yeah, I mean editing wise, again, I normally don't pay attention to editing and stuff like that, but that got really annoying. Something that also got kind of annoying, but it is a staple of this franchise as a whole. That's basically the action scenes. You know how the action scenes here, they have it like shaky cam and it's like quick edits and all that. Sometimes it does work, and sometimes it doesn't work. It's like a mix, in my opinion, and that's just for the whole series as a whole, in my opinion. Sometimes that style of action does work for this movie, and sometimes it just doesn't. That's for me, that's just a personal opinion. Many people enjoy it, so whatever, go ahead. That's just a personal opinion on me. Personal, not gripe, because it's not something I extremely hate. Because I will say there are some action scenes they do brilliantly with that style of filming, where it's all quick cuts and edits. But for me, there are times where, whatever. So yeah, I mean, overall, it is a good movie. Probably the weakest out of all the Jason Bourne films, excluding Legacy, or maybe no, it's not within the top three. Let's go with that. Was still good as a whole, and yeah, I liked it. Again, I was expecting to watch this on Friday, but got advance tickets for it, so at the last minute. So yeah, do expect a Bourne Supremacy and Ultimatum and Legacy film review pretty soon, sometime by the end of next week, because let's be honest, I'm lazy. So yeah, it's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Before I forget, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good film. That's what it is. It's just a good film. Could it have been better? Sure. Could it have been worse? Definitely. I will say there's this car chase in Vegas. That was great. And also, the plot kind of didn't make sense. Before I forget, also, the plot didn't really make sense at times, because, right, it's not the main plot. And the Jason Bourne stuff, that was good. The subplot with this, like, internet thing where this guy is trying to make a new internet service, like Google Chrome and Firefox. He's trying to make a new internet service where it's not really monitored by the government or whatever. Like, that made no sense in my opinion. I was like, okay, where is this going? I felt like it was just going nowhere. It was just really, for me, it was just like kind of preparing for a huge action scene at the end, which it was a great action scene. Just I don't see the purpose of that subplot. So yeah, I mean, kind of for me, again, it's just a reason. Oh yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is evil, by the way. Aside from the fact he wants to kill Bourne, he also wants to do this, and then cool action scene at within the last 10 minutes, or for the whole last 10 minutes of the movie. So yeah. So yeah, that's my rating, 7 out of 10. Good movie as a whole. And yeah, it's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.